For a long time now, we've heard stories about Marvel and about their visual effects and how they essentially farm their visual effects out to a lot of other different companies and try to work them to the bone to meet deadlines, whether that be for Disney Plus shows or movies or trailers or whatever. It's also one of the reasons why you might see trailers that get released and they're like, don't worry, we're still working on those visual effects. It's a work in progress, probably because they are like breathing down the neck of somebody out there in the industry who is furiously trying to finish it. Well, now a thread that's going a little bit viral right now has a lot of people saying they're tired of working for Marvel because of the way they're paid, the way they're treated, and the fact that they're constantly rushed and can't do a good enough job. This is from Dhruv Govil, who is now a software engineer at Apple, apparently, and he worked on Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy and more. This is what he says while retweeting this article. Working on Marvel shows is what pushed me to leave the visual effects industry. They're a horrible client, and I've seen way too many colleagues break down after being overworked while Marvel tightens the purse strings. Man, why would Marvel need to tighten the purse strings? Everybody tells me that every single thing from the MCU is just a great, great success. They'll never lose. You guys are just looking for something to hate. Why are they trying to tighten the purse strings so much if that's the case? I don't know. VFX artists are refusing to work with Marvel due to stress and unrealistic demands. VFX artists call Marvel the worst client to work for. VFX artists are speaking out against Marvel, with many refusing to ever work with the entertainment giant again. This comes as artists share accounts of unworkable deadlines and immense pressure, leading to stress and unsatisfactory final products. Many have requested never be put on a Marvel project again, saying the studio has the worst VFX management out there. The allegations have been made by the subreddit rVFX, with artists across the industry sharing their negative experiences, saying that the money and star power aren't worth putting up with the poor work conditions. Now, I've talked about this before a couple times when it comes to video games, and there is part of you that realizes that if you're going into that industry, there are going to be crunch periods, there are going to be deadlines and stuff like that. That's just part of it. And I imagine, knowing really nothing about the VFX industry, but what makes it sound like on this subreddit and things like that is that it's similar, right? There might be times where we have to crunch. There might be times we have to work overtime, but it sounds like the worst company to do it with is Marvel, from what everybody's saying. In a thread titled, "I am quite frankly sick and tired of working on Marvel shows," Reddit user this person expressed their frustration. Marvel is probably the worst methodology of production and VFX management out there. They can never fix the look for the show before more than half the allocated time for the show is over. The artists working on Marvel shows are definitely not paid equivalent to the amount of work they put in. On Thor, they asked for a complete mini sequence 2 or 3 weeks before the deadline. This person's account is the same. "I request to not work on Marvel movies and TV shows. Unfortunately, they're becoming our biggest client. They expect a smorgasbord of options so they can change their mind 3 or more times." So that's very interesting too. A lot of people want to say, Kevin Feige, he's a genius. He has it all planned out. He has it all mapped out. When in reality, sounds like a lot of this stuff is shoot by the hip a little bit. A lot of the time, they're just kind of finding it the way they go, that there might not be some grand, superior plan that's actually in place. And by the way these VFX artists make it sound, it's almost like that is the case. Like they just try to throw stuff on the wall and sees what sticks. I've been almost 3 straight years of Marvel. Welcome to the 7th level of hell. It's been a black hole of sleep deprivation. And this has been going on for months and months and months in this subreddit. I'm on my 3rd Marvel project in a row, woke up at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm making a reel to apply someplace that has projects other than Marvel because I can't do it. Marvel's seen grown men punch walls or throw monitors from stress. I broke down a couple times and that's the strain it can put on marriages. But hey, the money was fantastic. Fuck Marvel as a client. The credit name is not fucking worth it. So it's interesting to see a lot of people, seemingly come out there in the VFX industry and saying, you know what, Marvel's dog shit to work with. They expect a lot. They expect these deadlines. They expect you to make more shit because they don't actually know. They don't have a plan with what they want to do. They just want to see kind of what might work best instead of actually having a cohesive plan for these guys to get the work done. And now they're speaking out about it. People are tired of working with Marvel. Why would that be? Everyone tells me the MCU, it's just the strongest franchise out there. They've got all the money in the world. Disney has all the money in the world they can throw everywhere, yet they're tightening their purse strings. Interesting how that works. Phase 4 of the MCU, box office flop, box office flop, box office flop, box office flop. You finally get something like Doctor Strange and Multitude of Madness. Now Thor's out there in the box office. They might have a lot of money to recoup from all these failures they've had in Phase 4.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.